4 admin-like cheat interventions, not theories, not excuses. 4 moments where the rules simply stopped applying. This isn't a rage video. This isn't about complaining. It's about what it actually takes to fight back on official servers, and how we ended up here. Welcome to part 3, Fight Back. If you've seen the first 2 parts, then you already know the setup. We didn't rush anyone, we didn't trash talk, and we didn't go looking for conflict. Instead, we applied pressure slowly and carefully, watching how people reacted over time. And sooner or later, they always do. New IDs appeared, connected to old habits. Familiar base styles showed up again. Familiar reactions and patterns. They tested our base, and they failed. And once that happens, everything else usually follows a path I've seen many times before. Because when a base proves unraidable through normal gameplay, something always changes. They don't adapt, they don't get smarter, and they don't suddenly improve their strategy. They simply stop playing legit. By day 5, things went quiet, and silence on official servers is never a good sign. A clan we already knew, and that had clear connections to them, tried a small raid. We shut it down almost immediately. Shortly after that, another group showed up. Bringing the same insane lag we had already experienced earlier. They lost once, disengaged, and vanished. So I went scouting. On the way, I came across something that didn't quite make sense. A small stone base with no doors, chests still inside, and nothing about it that explained why it had been left that way. It raised more questions than answers, so I didn't stay long and kept moving. Not far from there, I found vaults belonging to the same clan that had tried to raid earlier. When one of them attacked me, I killed him and took his bombs. There weren't enough explosives to break a vault, but there were enough to make a point, so I damaged what I could and moved on. Fate, however, had more in store. And then I saw it, a massive claimed area, endless rows of construction stretching toward what might be a base, and nearby a huge tavern built. Not temporary, not improvised, but clearly lived in. This wasn't a raid base, this was home, and that's when it clicked. This is where you live, with more resources than you could realistically ever use, and still, you choose to silently raid smaller bases instead of fighting people head-on. So I used his own bombs, brought the tavern down, and walked away. Call it karma if you want. To me, it was simply balance. By then, my appetite was awake, and even with a low amount of explosives left, I kept looking around for things to break. That's when she ran into another clan, and I headed there with less than 100 DP. We fought on the lower side of their base.
Your heart will be eaten.
After we won the area, I decided to try raiding them. They already intrigued me, and their base location raised even more questions. On officials, just finding locations is rarely simple, but that's a story for another video. When we pushed their base, something strange happened. They didn't fight back. Instead, they moved their loot. Shortly after, another clan connected to the cheaters showed up to help. But they died quickly. And we continued raiding freely. Focusing first on respawn points without any real resistance. That's when the accusations started appearing and disappearing. Claims of flag switching, net limiting, and all the usual noise, mostly during my stream. But none of that mattered, because what came next wasn't random. It was deliberate. She spotted a farming base belonging to an old clan we already knew was affiliated with them. Raid time was already over, so instead of attacking, I waited outside and made just enough noise to get attention. It worked faster than expected. I went straight to the production floor and loot started popping everywhere. He respawned, tried desperately to save it, died, came back, and died again. The same routine repeating over and over. When I was done, I left some items behind in a bench as a gift and went home. A few hours later, after I had already ended the stream, it happened. Outside of raid hours, trolls were deleted, benches emptied, chests wiped. I was killed instantly at my respawn point, and strangely enough, that was the moment I felt the most satisfaction, because it confirmed everything. They couldn't take my loot the legit way, and I had finally pushed them far enough. The plan worked, they were here, but now the situation had changed completely. My character was reset, recipes gone, armor knowledge gone, weapons, sorcery, even emotes wiped clean. Half the game was suddenly unavailable to me. So the real question became simple. What do you do when the rules no longer apply? The next day I went back. Same base, same method. After about 45 minutes of waiting and watching him, he made the same mistake again and let me in. The same pattern followed: loot popping, respawns, desperate attempts to save it, death. This time, she entered the lower part of the base as well. Karma came back stronger. He started dying at both respawn points over and over, exactly the way the cheaters had killed us. When raid time started, I rushed their production base. I died. Even though they summoned corpses and transferred most of the loot. We still found a small stash hidden in the floor. A few hours later, the second admin-like intervention followed. Same pattern, empty pockets and no knowledge. Once again. The next day, they began building one of their old favorite spots, and we prepared a surprise. They saw the altars on the map and likely emptied the base before raid time. But it didn't matter. We summoned a Jebel Sag avatar and continued with arrows until we made space to enter the base. They ran away, and even then the real challenge became getting inside without sorcery or climbing tools. When I finally got in, the base was empty, so we used every bomb we had left. At some point, the clan leader returned with another player and tried to interfere, but they failed. Then a new clan showed up in big numbers. Revealing themselves as well. Lag. Distance hits. Every trick they had. All just to stop us from taking that base down. And still, their leader died repeatedly. Then everything went quiet.
Take you.
The third admin-like intervention followed shortly after. Repeating the same pattern. As soon as the cheater left my base, I went straight to theirs. Unsurprisingly, he was there, defending and likely passing our loot. He followed me, blocked NPC villages, emptied chests, so we started over. The next day was the breaking point. We split up. She pressured them on another server while I built a trebuchet. Their base had doubled, maybe tripled in size overnight. They noticed me before raid time and probably moved their loot, but it didn't matter. The base started falling piece by piece. Walls collapsed. The core was exposed. Soon enough, there was a massive hole and most of the base became a ruin. Someone tried blocking the trebuchet fire with walls, but it was pointless. When I finished, I dismantled everything and went back. Nothing was left, no foundations, no ruins, nothing. They abandoned the spot. At that point, nothing else mattered. Everything went exactly as planned, even better than we had hoped. We broke their ambitions and forced them back into hiding. But it wasn't over. As soon as I got back to base, they saw on stream that I still had 100 DP and had started crafting explosives again. So they returned with the same admin-like cheats. And this time, they didn't stop there. They followed me into the desert, trying to stop me from playing at all. Repeating the same line I've heard for years. You have to quit this game. Legit players, cheating, admin mode style abuse. All their cards were on the table now. The goal was simple, make us quit. So there it was, me, naked, empty-handed, against a fully geared cheater. And still, at close range, I touched him again and again. Their current cheat is weaker up close, with less control and worse aim than it used to have. After several fights and some conversations in stream chat, I proved once again how weak he was, even with cheats. After that, he left. Other clans began guarding NPC villages and emptying chests for hours. Even clans I once considered new, that I had helped before, turned out to be aligned with them, now guarding those villages against me. And by then, the picture was clear. Cheaters aren't random players, they're infrastructure, guard dogs protecting multiple clans, metas and control. As they like to say, they are the biggest clan in the game, and every time someone threatens their world, they defend it with cheats, whenever they can't handle things as legit players. None of the clans involved were affected by cheats, all had meta gear and knowledge, and this is what official PvP looks like from my perspective today. You play day by day, relying only on what you farm that day, knowing that half the game can be taken away instantly. And still, there is room to fight back, because at their core, they are weak players with infinite ego, always choosing cheats over skill and numbers over strategy. We learn all of this over years of playing Conan Exiles, learning their habits, their tricks, and how they really operate. As It's Not May has said many times, they claim to own all the servers, or at least most of them. We'll test that claim next. This was the final part of this story, but things don't stop here. After visiting server 1115, we returned to 1111, and things changed again. And soon, I'll tell the full story of how we learned all of this. Thank you to everyone supporting the channel, for the comments, shares and conversations. You're the reason this story deserves to be told. Until the next one, Exiles. Stay sharp, stay smart, and never stop fighting back.